Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Okay, just making sure, because I know the volume of my voice, sometimes it's not quite high enough. I'm Reverend Drake Juella, and I'm covering for Reverend Jan Chase today, because she has the flu. So that's why we have a different face up here. So just wait for that phone call to wrap up real quick. Oh, that's okay. It's not wrapping up. So I want to say welcome to Unity. As you know, we've relocated here to Claremont with Claremont Center for Spiritual Living. This is just a wonderful space we have here. And it's really nice having these two communities connecting the way that they are. So I'm glad that you've joined us today and can be with us. I'm very excited about our speaker. His name is Dr. Richard Rose, but we'll get into a little more about him later. I've been anticipating this for a while. So I'm very, very grateful that we are going to have you speaking today. So I'd like to start with an opening song. It's This Little Light of Mine. And I'm wearing two hats today, so what you're going to see is me going down to the keyboard, then coming back up to speak. Sorry about that, but it's kind of fun.
Oh, thank you, Jack. I know what you're doing.
Okay. And David is going to man the word. Thank you so much. Oh, have you really? Now, the way I play it, I'm a little slower than Joanne. I hope that's okay. I can't sing as quickly. I just do it this way, very simple. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Out in the darkest night, I'm gonna let it shine. Out in the darkest night, I'm gonna let it shine. Out in the darkest night, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Deep down in my soul, I'm gonna let it shine. Deep down in my soul, I'm gonna let it shine. Deep down in my soul, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. One last time. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Always good to remember the light you carry inside. You know? It's there all the time. This is a wonderful thing. Thank you. So let's center ourselves in prayer. If I could get this to move. No, not moving. Just use my finger. There we go. So, as many of you know, I am a science of mind minister, so I pray a little bit in that style of affirmation. So we center ourselves as we sit solidly in our chairs, center ourselves in knowing the truth of who each and one of us is, that we carry the pure consciousness of love, and that this love propels every action, every state of our being and how we move in this world and be. It empowers us. It is the power, the force that moves us forward. So we know that this very force of life, that is love, is the power that moves us. And this power that moves us is what unifies us consciously, individually within ourselves, and as a community. It is the very elixir of life. So we gather in knowing that today we carry this power within, and this open mind to connect to what is to be said about our power, to know the truth that we are this, that we carry this power no matter what the circumstances in the world look like, that the love that propels the very power of our being is what always prevails. So we are grateful to know this, so grateful. We release this understanding out into the world of our consciousness, knowing that it is real, it is right, and it is true. And so it is. Yeah. So this next song, I love it. I will never grow tired of this. It's the Lord's Prayer. I was raised Catholic, and this is what we always did in church. So I'm going to lead the Lord's Prayer. And if you know this version, please do join me in heart and soul. Jesus was teaching us from day one. We are being tended. Every day we are. And speaking of that tending, after service, please do join us. We always have a potluck. And today I've actually made the main dish. It's a vegetarian dish, but it's going to taste good, I promise. They're beans. And we've got cornbread, and we got some salad, and we got some cake, so it's going to be a good thing. Please do come. This thing's not moving for me. I'll just keep using my finger. So every Wednesday, we have a meditation from 4:30 to 5:30, and it's done by Zoom. So if you feel compelled to have some time to center yourself, and you have that time free, please do join us. It's a really good thing to do, especially right now. We also have a new book study coming up, and I'm excited about it because actually Reverend Jan mentioned it last week and said, how many of you would be interested in this? And my hand went up. So we're going to be talking about the metaphysical interpretation of the stories from the Hebrew Testament, also known as the Tanakh. And if you like dream interpretation, there's going to be some of that exploration as well. So I'm eagerly anticipating this. The book is the Unity Classic, Let There Be Light by Elizabeth Sand Turner, And it's going to be held for an hour every week with some occasional in-person gatherings. And I've found that that's a really neat way to do it, because then when you come together, it's been marinating in you for a while, and you really can dig deeper. So we're looking at 7 p.m. on Tuesday or Thursday evenings, but I think we're leaning towards Thursday, to be honest, if I remember correctly. And these books are available paperback, hardcover, Kindle, whatever way works for you. You can purchase them that way online. And if you are interested and haven't stepped forward about that yet, or it's your first time here in a while, please let me know after service while we're having our lunch, and I'll make sure to get that information to Jan, Reverend Jan.
There's a sign-up sheet on the back table.
Oh, does she have a sign-up sheet on the back? Sorry about that. Yeah, I guess that is there. So you can sign up on there too. Also, as most of us know, Reverend Jan is highly involved in this with Compassionate Pomona. The next meeting is Thursday, February 5th at 10 in the morning. It goes until noon, and it's by Zoom. And as you can see on here, look for the articles on Compassion in La Nueva Voz in Pomona's newspaper at the end of the month. You'll find it there. I don't know if any of you have ever done any of these sip and paints. They're really fun. I've done them before. Where people get together and they just eat, maybe have some wine. It looks like mimosas here, and they paint. And a lot of times they'll have a set thing that everybody's working on painting, and there'll be a person up there who helps you do it, instructs you on how to do it. It's a very fun thing. And it looks like you can get a ticket for $45 per person, and it's more than just mimosas, it's lunch. They'll provide a canvas, they'll provide the paints. They're going to have a raffle ticket, it looks like, a live basket raffle. And you can get a sheet of tickets for $20 to up your chances to win if you want. 2 sheets, it looks like, are $30. So that's bound to be a lot of fun. I'm going to put that in my calendar. I haven't done that for a while. Also, Western University of Health Sciences, they do this sometimes. It's a really wonderful thing. It's Give Kids a Smile. They provide free dental and eye services for kids. And it looks like this is coming up on Friday, February 6th. What is the time? From 8:30 in the morning till 3. So they're going to be helping out a lot of kids who would otherwise probably not be able to get that kind of care. So if this is something that you know of somebody who might be interested, or you might be interested in yourself, please, you can, if you can't get all this information now, you can always get it from me or Reverend Jan again later. Also, we are collecting new or gently used sweaters, jackets, coats, and socks for all ages for Pomona Unified Schools families in January. So if anybody has any grandkids or kids stuff that you don't need anymore, please bring it here and we'll make sure it gets into the right hands. It's getting cold out there. And also, Unity and CCSL, Claremont Center for Spiritual Living, are collecting non-perishable food for Claremont's United Church of Christ Church to give to residents who can no longer work due to the threat of ice. This is a really important thing. And I don't see Ruth in here. She's not here today.
She had surgery on her eyes, so she's not
That's right.
So we need to keep her in prayer as well.
Keep her in prayer for healing. She did have surgery on her eyes, but she's the one who pretty much runs this, and she's been wonderful. So she takes all the stuff, collects it, and takes it to the church. She's really kept this going. Very important thing.
She says she needs a substitute because she's not supposed to lift anything now, so we'll work that out.
Okay, we can talk about that after service. Maybe I could do that. They're also collecting school backpacks, lunch boxes, hygiene products for students, all kinds of things. So, just so you know, you probably already know what we're doing for this month, but in February it's going to continue. We're going to be continuing on the developing the 12 powers within us. And each week we have a special guest, which is pretty cool. February 1st, we'll be focusing on using our power of zeal to fulfill our life purpose. And most of you in here probably know Cynthia Barnes-Slater. She's with the Baha'i community. In fact, she facilitated a can't remember what it was called, but it was wonderful, where a group of people got together all from different faith backgrounds, and we all had dialogue.
That was Soul Connections.
Soul connections. It was really neat. It was a wonderful thing. And I just realized I said dialogue, and that's is two. There was more than two in the room. The next week after that, on February 8th, there'll be Aligning with and Flowing with Divine Order. And we'll have Connie Diaz speaking, and I'm very excited about that. I don't think she's here today, but she's remarkable. Oh, if you have not talked to her, she's a powerful person. And the week after that, it will be Using the Power of Elimination to Spiritually Purify Ourselves. And we will have the speaker Rahana Mawjood, who's with the Muslim community. I'm really looking forward to that. And then the last week, we'll have Finding Strength Within Us and with a group, with a speaker, Dr. Roberta Perlman, who's with our Jewish community. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be pretty nice. So now is the part that of the service where we collect the donations and bring them forward. And I'm just realizing I didn't put mine in an envelope. So let us all say together, let us affirm that divine love through me blesses and multiplies all I am, all I give, all I do, and all that I receive. It is very true. And we say at the Center for Spiritual Living in the first service, we say, I am prosperous now. We say that after that. Because when we open up to that flow, we can be prosperous in all kinds of ways, whether it's love or connections or even basic things like money. It's there, waiting for us. So I think is the time for the daily word, isn't it? Yeah. Are you reading that today, Jackie?
Yes.
All right. I like this one. This looks pretty interesting. Zeal.
Yeah, you're a man of zeal.
Jackie has been reading this faithfully for this community for quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
You're like the backbone of this.
I
It's a
am.
real thing, you know?
Well, I think it's
Yeah.
an important publication. It's kind of the backbone of unity. The word for today is zeal, as I was saying, and the affirmation, I bring my zeal and passion to life together. I bring my zeal and passion to life. Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore wrote in his 94th year, I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and bring forth with its mighty faith to do the things that ought to be done by me. I still got a few more years. His example shows me that regardless of my age or station in life, zeal is a divine gift, a part of me always mine to call upon. Through it, I feel enthusiastic and energetic about life. I express joy and excitement as I live, love, and share of myself through service. I am purposeful, passionate, and positive. I live authentically and make a bold impression on the world. I share my talents and gifts with a spirit of generosity and service. I begin each day with eagerness and end it with gratitude, happy to share my zeal. And from Psalm 100, verse 2, worship the Lord with gladness. Come into his presence with singing.
Makes me think of the song. How have you heard? I will enter his gates with thanksgiving in my heart. I will enter his house with praise. Oh, you know it. I will say this is the day that the Lord has made. Okay, enough of that. I'm getting ready to lead. Now this, I think all of us know this one is a particularly powerful, powerful hymn. And I think it is so appropriate for right now. When I saw that I was going to get to do this one today, I was pretty pleased. So there's 3 verses to it, and I won't really be able to lead it because I gotta kind of focus on the music. But I'm gonna play it in a way, hopefully that will make it very easy for you to follow. At least if you're not as familiar on the second verse. Very, just a beautiful thing. That is a song that I purposely play a little bit more slowly, actually. I think it's more powerful. I don't want a single word to be missed, not one. Yeah, oh, well, I just was thinking because of the song itself, but yeah. So, before we have our speaker, I'll just do a little background on this, on what we're going to talk about today. And then I'm going to do a little reading on a little background on you, Dr. Rose, that I really think people should hear about. So we've been looking at Unity's 12 powers, as you know, and it teaches that we're equipped with 12 inner powers or attributes of God to be developed throughout our lives. So this is an ongoing process. That's the beauty of it. We have these 12. And by focusing on these 12 qualities, we can enter into, well, it says here 2026, but I think we can enter into every moment with a fresh understanding of our own spiritual nature. You're talking to someone who loves process theology, so I think that the world, God, everything is a process that's constantly unfolding and rediscovering itself. So every new minute we have, we can discover these powers more that we carry within. Each power has a location in our body and is associated with a color and a disciple, which I find fascinating. So we're inviting you to explore these 12 powers within yourself and consider ways to develop them more intentionally as your journey throughout this new year and ongoing into your life. It's in Unity's Advent booklet for 2025, which is a season we're getting ready to enter, is it not? Pretty soon, if we haven't already. Yeah, we're getting close. So today we're going to explore the power of power, which I love to say it like that, because once Dr. Rose gets up here, he'll really take it to another level, why we would say that. Power is the vital energy that's seated in the hollow of the throat. They say that words are powerful. There's a reason. It's at the root of the tongue. It's released by speaking positive, powerful words of truth. And the corresponding color is purple. The disciple that represents this is Philip, who was known for his ability to spread the message of truth throughout his speech. So apparently he had power in his tongue. There's some scriptures on power. The first one is Jesus said, "The words that I have spoken to you are spirit and life." And that's in John chapter 6, verse 63. They say our words can hurt and they can heal. Jesus knew this, and his words did. All power is given unto me in heaven and earth. And this is Matthew chapter 28, verse 18. And finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 through 11. Think of that compared to the armor of God. Our words are so powerful. So there's 12 steps to develop power. And these are the 12 steps. The first one, which is a really important one that I think sometimes people forget, is control. And in control, we're opening the way for spiritual power to flow by exercising control. So there is still an opening, but there is control of how that flows and its direction, like the rudder of a ship. So we open the way for spiritual power to flow by exercising control, not over others or over the world so much, but over ourselves. This is how we determine what we think and what we feel, by exercising this control. And we do it through poise, by learning to control our thoughts and our feelings. In doing that, we develop poise. Poise is controlled power, waiting to be released. And when I saw that, I thought, oh, that's really interesting. It's kind of like potential energy versus kinetic. It's there, and we reserve it, and we have it ready when we need it to use it skillfully, because we don't just waste it by letting it just fly all over the place with every whim and emotion we have. What's that, Jackie?
I say don't let it splatter all over.
I was thinking that, and I didn't say it. We don't want to have that splatter. The third one is accord. When you have established control and poise and are in accord with divine ideas, you are ready for the further quickening of this spiritual activity. So it's not enough just to control it and to have that developed poise. You need to be aligned in your consciousness and your being with the truth that Jesus spoke about. He was so aligned with it that he manifested it in everything he did. That's what he's inviting us to do. The fourth one is endowment. Your first real experience of receiving spiritual power may come as a feeling of new strength. And when it comes in a gush during meditation, I can guarantee you it is quite intense. And it can come as a new strength and a life and joy, or a greater ability to cope with life and increased energy to do the work God has given you. It really does energize you. This energy is not for personal gain, though. That's the difference, and that's why it's so much more sustainable. It's for the greater expression of God. the greater expression of God, which is what all of us are anyway in the first place. So when it's for the greater good, it's not just for yours, it's for everybody else, because we're all linked with this, are we not? We really are. The fifth one is power. You are receiving and using spiritual power and using it under God's direction. Keep this channel open by rest, renewal, and revitalization through prayer. So to me, it's kind of like when you stick something in an energy socket. The pure connection, it will come through very purely and cleanly if we keep ourselves rested and healthy and in a right connection with this spiritual essence. When we have that division and we're not connected that way, it's like having a kink in that. It won't go through as well. The sixth one is dominion. You can command every situation as Jesus did by exercising dominion based in self-government, always subject to guidance of spirit within you. So it's not just willy-nilly on what your ego wants in any given moment. It's through your understanding of spirit that you're listening to that's guiding you. It's governing you. It's like the bit in the horse's mouth. The horse can still run, but the jockey is God's consciousness. The last one, I don't know if that is the last one, is mastery. You are power. You are power. Power flows through you without conscious effort. When you have done all these other steps, you are embodying it, and it will flow through you gracefully. It'll guide you. It never fails you. So that's my little background here. And in a minute, David's going to come up after I read this, and I'll set it up for you, Dr. Rose. But I'd like to read a little background on Reverend Dr. Richard Rose, who is our speaker today. Reverend Dr. Richard Rose is an ordained elder in the African Methodist Episcopal Church. Dr. Rose serves as the executive director of the Ecumenical Center for Black Church Studies. The Ecumenical Center's purpose is to provide in-service professional education for ministers, other staff, seminarians, and laity of whatever ethnic background who serve the African American community. What a gift. Through this program, Dr. Rose's students have engaged in contextualized theological education for the 21st century. At the college level, Dr. Rose teaches courses related to real-life issues. Theory is one thing, real life is another. In Power and Oppression, students reflect upon the theme of power and oppression within a contemporary community engagement project. In Religion, Science, and Consciousness, students examine the structure and practice of scientific and mystical traditions. What a perfect blend. And learn what each has to say about the mind-body problem. In World Religions East, students examine the origin and development of those religions that undergird East, South, and Southeast Asian worldviews, with emphasis given to the way adherents of these traditions continue to practice their belief system in the Los Angeles metropolitan area. I would love to go to that. I have a lot of friends that are Buddhist and from the East. During the COVID-19 global crisis, ECBCS, or the Ecumenical Center for Black Church Studies, established the Junior Order of Melchizedek Rites of Passage program. The program is designed to be an after-school enrichment activity for middle school children. Starting with middle school. Using the values found in Ephesians chapter 6, verses 14 through 16, the program teaches that seeking truth with a capital T, with integrity, capital T, and faith, capital F, mind you, we can establish a world of peace. The program prepares these youth to make good choices for both college and their careers ahead. So you got to plant those seeds early. You really do. Dr. Rose earned his undergraduate degree from Pacific Christian College in philosophy. The program involved dual enrollment within California State Fullerton's philosophy program. He earned his Master of Divinity degree from Howard University School of Divinity and the Doctor of Philosophy degree from the Claremont Graduate University. His dissertation is titled Howard Thurman's Life and Thought, Implications for Religious Pluralism and Interfaith Dialogue. I would really like to read that, by the way. Just saying if I could. It looks interesting. Dr. Rose's current research examines global issues related to interfaith dialogue and religious pluralism. Dr. Rose sees his life's work as continuing the process of building the beloved community. In 2023, Dr. Rose received a Life Worth Living Network grant through the Yale Center for Faith and Culture. That grant has helped in the development and dissemination of the message contained in the course, Building the Beloved Community. Lastly, Dr. Rose is the author of An Interreligious Approach to a Social Ethic for Christian Audiences, published in 2017. And this is the one I'm familiar with, 7 Meditations on the Lord's Prayer, published in 2016. Fascinating book. Both published by Christian World Imprints, New Delhi, India. Dr. Rose serves on the following boards. You're a busy man. Bethany Theological Seminary, Southern California Committee for a Parliament of the World's Religions, the John Cobb Institute, and he is a member of Prime AME Church in Pomona, California. Let me welcome to the podium here, Reverend Dr. Richard Rose. Thank you so much for coming today. I'm so excited to hear you talk. I'm looking forward to this. And now we need to bring his up. I just made mine small. Is it on there somewhere? I just want to make sure that I don't hold him up too long.
Thank you so very much for that kind.
Oh,
Thank you.
I'm very excited. I'm feeling zeal for you. Okay.
All right, here we go. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It is always a joy, a pleasure to be with you all here at Unity Church. Let us begin by going to God in prayer. Eternal and gracious Lord, we're thankful for this opportunity to share the power of your power. For it is by your power that the creation has come into existence. It is by your power that we have life, liberty, and joy. It is by your power that we are able to live forever in your communion. So we ask, O God, that by your power you will fill us with your Holy Spirit, that we might feel your joy, feel your love, and that we might share that joy and love with others. Help us, O God, to take what we learn here and build your beloved community. All these things we ask in Christ's name, and for his sake we pray. Amen. Am I okay with leaving the mic here, or do I have to hold it? We're okay?
I can hear him okay. Can you hear him?
All right. All right.
Okay.
Very good. So our text for this morning is from the book of Ephesians, verses 10 through 11, but I'm going to go ahead and read verses 10 through 17 to give us the full context of what's taking place here. And much of it we've already had an introduction to. Ephesians 6 and 10. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground, and after you have done everything to stand, stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, the breastplate of righteousness in its place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith with which you can extinguish all of the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. Our subject, the power of power, understood properly. The power of power, understood properly. Wow. What a topic. And it's always a pleasure to come to Unity Church. The Unity approach to religion and spirituality is very much a part of who I am. And I didn't realize it growing up, but my mother, as I've communicated before, was a part of the Unity community. I didn't realize that until I began associating with Jan. You see, my mom would end every family prayer with the Unity prayer. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me wherever I am. God is. And we have this daily word in the house. Daily. It was not forced upon us. You did not have to read it. I don't even remember being encouraged to read it, but it was there, and it was used. The power of presence. Now, Reverend Jan is not present with us today, but her presence is still here. We feel you, Reverend Jan, and we know that you're watching, and we're praying for your recovery, your healing. Our topic. Speaking of presence and power, the power of power properly understood. Now, I find the topic as given to me by Reverend Jan to be truly fascinating. Reverend Jan invited me to preach on this topic, and after tossing it around in my head for a while, I realized that there are many dimensions to power. And power can be so easily abused. So I thought, what about the notion of power understood properly or properly understood? I thought that would be an appropriate title for the times in which we are living. You know, there are certain things about power that people don't normally think about. Now, this group may be a little bit different, but one thing that people don't normally think about or realize is that their power is unlimited. You have unlimited power. Maybe we don't talk about it much, or maybe our society is not aware of it, and it may take a moment to really grasp this, but the point is that you have unlimited power. The power of power, properly understood. So, what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and give us some definitions of power. So first of all, I know many of you may disagree with the idea that your power is unlimited. Some will say things like, I can't not pick up a rock as heavy as my house. Or they might say, I cannot fly. And so, therefore, they may not see their power as unlimited. The problem here in these cases is not understanding the true nature of power and how it works. So, the power of power, properly understood. So let us first look at a definition from the Oxford Dictionary. Power, the ability to do something or act in a particular way, especially as a faculty or quality. The capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others or the course of events. That's from the Oxford Dictionary, but let me give you a notion from Dr. King here. Power, the ability to achieve purpose. The king didn't leave it there. He wanted a clear understanding of how this thing works. So, power without love is reckless and abusive, while love without power is sentimental and anemic. And so the notion here is that we have to have power with a purpose, but it has to be something that is curbed, that is monitored by a higher power, if you will, the power of love. Now, the notion of power is something that occurred or came up in a course that I taught called Power and Oppression. So in this particular class, we would always start by having the students give their definition of power. And so I want to give you a few of the terms the students came up with. First, they said power is the ability to create and to enforce a set of rules that are believed to perfect a society. The ability to manipulate and make others believe that it is beneficial for those in power to be in power. The ability to influence a group or population to listen and act upon specific beliefs, rules, and values. The ability to influence, and then having advantage over something, someone, and control. So these were the notions of power that the students came up with. And I would do this every year, and every year they would be very much the same. So then after talking about the notion of power, the next question is, well, who has the power? Those who are deemed worthy by the society that backs them. Those with the knowledge and resources or the ability to obtain those resources to manipulate the masses. The people with the resources, the elite, they argued, have the power. In the world, Wall Street has the power. The oil companies, China, and technology. Then someone said, everyone has power. Trump would like this one. Those who control the military, the education, and religion have the power. There was one term here that really struck me, that stands out. Everyone has power. So what the class ultimately begins to find is that others do not have power over you. In terms of the power of power properly understood, we begin to recognize that power properly understood is within ourselves. When we take time to meditate, when we take time to look at the God that lies within, we begin to realize where our power lies. Mistakes regarding the nature of power are seen when that simple fact is misunderstood And power is abused. It's used to inflict your control over others, and that's not proper power. So, we have personal power. But properly understood, no power over others, no power over God or nature. What about knowledge? Is knowledge power? With the arrival of AI, we seem to have unlimited knowledge. We know what it knows. Just ask Siri or whoever your AI mind is. Knowledge, power. Yes, knowledge is power, but is knowledge wisdom? Okay. So while you do not have power over God, you do have divine power. And divine power is wise. Last time I checked, divine power is unlimited. Check out our text. And what it actually says, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. The power of power is God's mighty power. And understood properly is when you put on the armor of God and you are acting in your power. So, you don't have ultimate power, but you do have the power of God. And the beauty of this text is that it tells you to claim your unlimited power. Be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Then it goes on to tell you how to do it. You do it through knowledge, through wisdom. Ephesians 6, 12 through 17. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armor of God so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything to stand, stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in its place, with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. So, what we have to do is we have to dress ourselves in the armor of God each day so that we are able to be victorious in a world where it is not always using its power appropriately. So here we go. Truth as power. Stand firm then with the belt of truth buckled around your waist. Now, my calling, some 45, almost 50 years ago, was to tell the truth. God actually told me to tell the truth. And now, a few weeks, days later, I'm asking myself, did I hear that correctly? How would I know what truth is? Better go to school. Better study some philosophy and religion, right? I must have gotten that wrong. Well, let me go and see if I can figure it out. Now, truth is power is a sermon in and of itself. We're not going to do that one today, but truth as power is a sermon. So, but what I found is that you only have power over your truth. Everything else is treated like fake news until confirmed. Until confirmed. AI now, because of the way it can manipulate images and voices and things, you don't know if what you are seeing in front of you is real. But the truth lies in the internal spirit that can confirm what you are. So you have to learn to feel and know that spirit, which can lead you into all truth. When you begin to see the power of your truth, you and others will begin to take you yourself more seriously. Your truth becomes your voice and a representation of who you are. Powerful. Stand firm then with the belt of truth buckled around your waist. Secondly is the notion of righteousness. Righteousness as power. With the breastplate of righteousness in place, we don't use the term righteousness as much these days as they did in biblical days, even during the 60s. I can remember hearing somebody say, "Oh, that was righteous, man." Meaning the action was good, it was proper. So that is the general idea of righteousness. So how will good action fit with my personal truth, my personal power? Well, there's an interesting relationship here, an interesting interaction here. Your righteousness should be in line with your truth, so that righteousness turns out to be a type of integrity in relationship to your truth. You have the power to the degree that you are being true to yourself through your integrity, through your righteousness, through the way that you behave in society, with the breastplate of righteousness. So your heart chakra allows the integrity to be lived out in a way that you are living in harmony with your truth. Peace as power. Nonviolence as power. The power of peace or nonviolence has been shown to be a force of unmatched power time and time again. Jesus, Buddha, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., Mother Teresa. I mean, there are countless persons who have shown the power of peace. Nonviolence can be the medicine that heals the world. It just happens to be the best and most powerful weapon against hate, violence, and Antichrist. I do not say that lightly. If we are practicing peace in the streets, we can curb the violent motivation. So let us be peaceful warriors as we take our word to the street. Now, peace gives us our orientation and the direction in which we go. But we need to have that next component, and that is faith. Faith as power. So if we're going to talk about peace, overcoming the military insanity of the American system of capitalism, we've got to have a lot of faith. And faith is interesting because we begin to see before it happens what the goal is. The assurance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is our power to begin seeing what is not yet. One short illustration about how faith works. I was talking to a minister about getting involved in the struggle against the administration and the various forms of injustice that are taking place in our midst. The minister said to me, "That type of work is a risk of faith." I thought to myself, risk? There ain't no risk here. This is victory. It's victory. So, in order to have the victory, you have to take the first step. And in some sense, for some it may, but as your faith increases, the risk is no longer a risk. It becomes an assurance. And it becomes your power. In the context of knowing your power, it's that helmet, the helmet of salvation. You've acknowledged now that you are in God's grace, and you have unlimited power by putting this understanding of your power in your helmet, in your head. You will remember and be confident in your power. So now you've got on the helmet of salvation, which tells you that you have this power by faith, which is built in your truth and your integrity, and now you speak. So now your words contain the power. By putting this understanding of your power in your helmet in your head, you will remember and be confident in your power. Finally, your very words now have the power of God, the sword of the Spirit. As you tell your story, you are speaking your truth, you are speaking your power, and when you are done, you have your armor in place, you have the power of power, and it's understood properly. Thank you.
That's it. I'm still divesting. I was just saying, like, oh, do I have to go up there? Can I sit with that for a minute? All of that preparation to come into that fullness of your power so that when you open your mouth, your words heal. I was thinking about a lot of things. I'll be thinking about them some more. Thank you. Just looking at the time. I always do this before I consider doing special music. First and foremost, I'd like to just do a simple prayer to center all of us in these powerful words that we've heard today. And I do hope that you guys will join us afterwards to eat and maybe share some more of what this has moved in you, because there's a lot there, especially in this time. So it's just a simple prayer of gratitude for the words that we've heard today about what it means to fully be stepping into and moving through our own power that is guided, governed by God. The most eloquent form of this power is peace and love and compassion. But without these things, without the undergirding of all of the things that were spoken about, it's not the same. So we're grateful to know that we have this guidance available to us and that we carry it within each and every one of us. We are grateful to know that we have people in this world like Reverend Dr. Rose who will speak these truths for us and through us, as us. We are grateful to know that despite all outer circumstances, that this power is within each and every one of us, and it speaks most eloquently when we are unified through the force of peace and love. So we thank God for this. We thank God for this understanding. We are so grateful, and so it is. It is 1:35. I could play a little piano. I do have a piece. I've played it before. It's called Inspiration. But I don't know. How hungry are people? Huh? Play it? Go ahead. Okay, I'll go ahead and I'll play it. It's a familiar tune. It's called Inspiration. It felt like the right one today. And then I will come up and we will say a few closing things and we will go and eat. And further discuss the powerful words today. And when I think of this piece, inspiration, I think about how we are that for one another even when we don't know we are. It's kind of like when a tree falls in the woods and you don't hear, did it really fall? Well, we are not much alone. Not that we don't exist, I'm not saying that, but we are so much more when we are in the company of community. We can inspire one another through the simplest of things. Never forget the power you carry to inspire others and yourself. Oh, we still got the other one up there. Maybe I'll just close out if that's okay, so the other one will shine through. It's not liking my touch. The piano was okay with my touch. Why isn't the PowerPoint? I'll have to do it up there, not at the base, huh? Oh, that's a really pretty image. We could stay on that. Thank you. Like it's nothing. So everybody join me in affirming that. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so if you'd like to stand up and join in a circle, those of you who can, we always close with this song. Oh, I left the music up there on the podium. I'm not going to get very far without it. No, it's not there. Sorry. There it is. Just getting my act together here. All right.